Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever y'all join me from. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again. I apologize. Let me get my camera situated. Yeah. Shout out to the NTZ crew. Thank y'all so much for all y'all do for me. I mean it. I see Elette Makata. I see Jacob Tanjay. I know Michael Beach of Life will be on here. Shout out to my old heads. There goes Wonders of Life. He said gigolos are well known around the world as soon as they step off the plane. Wonders of Life, Roger Walker. I see y'all, man. Any new viewers and subscribers who are joining us for the first time, of course, everybody joining us on replay. Got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about the reputation of foreign men in the Philippines. But of course, let me say this. My condolences, man, to the families of the victims of that Titan submersible disaster. They said it was a catastrophic implosion. They said it was the death was instantaneous. So, I don't know if anything good comes out of that, but at least they didn't know what hit them, man. And there won't be a recovery. One expert, the U.S. Navy captain, said there's nothing to recover. He said the pressure was so great, there's nothing left down there. I don't know what it is with our infatuation with the Titanic, honestly. Hey, that man travels. He said, hey, Calvin, and greetings to everyone. I love what John said. I don't understand that either, Rabbit Farmer. What's Rabbit Farmer saying? I don't understand men getting tied up with one before they even get there. Why? Yeah, I don't know. I don't either. But they do it, and it's to the woman's advantage. She wants a commitment. But we're not really talking about women today. We're just talking about the reputation. But I did want to talk a little bit about that Titan submersible, man. I mean, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to. Well, first of all, I couldn't afford $250,000. And it's adventure tourism. Do we have any adventure tourists out there? Most of my adventure tourists are basically guys who go scuba diving. That's about as far as it is. I do have one guy who's he's a pilot over here. He flies on occasion. But also this yellow fever, guys, I didn't really make a video out of it. It's too controversial. Most people who suffer from yellow fever either don't know it or they're in denial. And it's a debate that I don't want to get into. It was something that I read about. I thought it was interesting. Because here we are smack dab in Asia. I'd never heard of it. I heard of yellow fever, the virus and stuff, but I never really heard of yellow fever. And, our fetish with East Asian and Southeast Asian women. Of course, everybody got on here and said, hey, it's my preference. Well, see, that's one of the things that psychologists say. This thing is deep, man. It goes way back. They said it's different from a preference. Here's what they said. Because of its deep-rooted legacies in racial and gendered fetishization of Asian women in the West. They're seen as objects of sexual desire under the Orientalist gaze of the white man. This highly racialized and gendered power dynamic has always existed in America. And it's deep, man, it's deep. But I got a lot of pushback on that. Still getting pushback on the disproportionate number of black men who getting taken advantage of. I'm not saying all black men, guys. Look up the word disproportionate before you get in my comments, man. You know, one guy says, "Oh, we're not black men aren't as weak as what he's making us out to be." I'm not making you out to be weak. If you're so strong, Mr. Tough Guy, then go over there and rescue black people. Get the system's foot off our neck over in America. He's so tough. He's claiming we're not as weak as what I make them out to be. Well, go rescue our sisters, mothers, fathers, grandmothers from that system over there. Guys, kill me with that, man. But anyway, let's talk about what our reputation is overseas, or basically in the Philippines. First of all, they see us all as womanizers, whether you're a womanizer or not. I mean, this is one thing that they absolutely believe, that when we come over here, we're going to see more than one woman. We can't be true to one lady. We can't be committed. Remember, they're gonna throw us all into one basket, guys. I don't care if you're black, white, Chinese, if you got an education or not, how much money you've got, if you're poor. A foreigner is a foreigner over here, and the sooner you understand that, the better you're gonna be. But that's the first thing. They think we're all players. You know, we're chicks, boys is what they call it over here, and it's just hard for us to be committed to one woman. There's nothing we can do really to erase this stuff. It's beat into their heads. Another thing is we're loose with our money. We're generous. They think that. And a lot of times, it's true. You know, you could even say, a lot of people say, well, they think foreign men are rich. And I always tell you all the time, there's nothing, you can use that to your advantage when they think you're rich, because it's going to open up doors that would normally be closed to you if they didn't think you were rich. But they said we're loose with our money, we're generous, and it's true from what I've seen. I'm going to do a video I'm going to upload in the morning, Ugly Americans. I'm going to talk about us, man. People are, I'm talking about ugly Americans. I'm not talking about all Americans. I'm talking about the ugly ones. People are slamming the door on us overseas. They don't want us in their country. They're not happy to see us coming anymore. The only reason they tolerate us is because we're loose with our money. We're bringing a paycheck over there, and we'll spend it all. But I'm going to talk about the ugly American in the Philippines, because he's becoming a problem, guys. We got to deal with him or not deal with him, either way it goes. But, yeah, we're loose with our money. We're generous. And we'll come back to this. I just want to go through them. We're stinky. Yeah, foreigners have a reputation of not taking baths and not being well groomed. And I don't know where that comes from, but I do know where it comes from, because they'll paint us all with a brush. If one guy comes over here stinking, and I've had several guys come visit me, they left their guest house lit up, man. And so they think that all foreigners, are like that. So that's why, you'll get the sniff test. They always sniff you over here, and for good reason. Hey, Quan Smith, thanks for that super sticker. But yeah, we're stinky, man. That's one reputation that we have. You can easily dispel that. Take a damn bath, put on some clean clothes. Okay? You can easily get rid of that one. Lazy. I talk to Marilyn and get a lot of this information. I'm saying, what do y'all think about foreigners? She said lazy, because they don't want to do nothing. All they want to do is sit around the hotel or sit around at the bar on the beach drinking, and they're lazy. So they think we're all lazy. complaining all the damn time. This is a reputation, we've got. If the aircon isn't as cold as it is, because, as Americans, we think that our aircon is colder. If I'll be damned if your aircon ain't working the way it worked at home, they're going to get it. If you don't get the same service at the restaurant, they're going to get it. Excuse me. Everything. If it ain't working like this, we're going to give it to them. So, we're confrontational, and they think, hey, these guys are always complaining all the time, which kind of means, we're demanding, right? Jacob Tanjay said, you got to take a bath or shower. You could easily dispel that myth, guys. If you take a bath, put on some clean clothes. What's up, honey Franklin? I see you. I'm using YouTube today, and so it's kind of hard for me. It's harder for me to keep up with the comments, guys. Excuse me, because YouTube keeps going. I could slow it down, but then it wouldn't be good. Steven says, hey, good evening, Calvin. At least this evening here. I've been on the go since 4 a.m. It's 9:30 p.m. in the Midwest. Time for some sleep after I watch your live chat for a little bit. Hey, thanks for joining us, man. Kamal says, I'm watching Titanic right now. What he says, heart to all affected. Yeah, we're infatuated with that. We won't let that rest. We won't let the people rest. Why won't we just leave that alone? If it's sacred, leave it alone. I don't see anybody taking tours to the damn graveyard. But we'll take a tour. We'll put our life on the line to go 12,500 feet below the damn ocean, just to look at something that you can look at on YouTube. I don't get it, man. My heart goes out to the families of the victims, man. The auntie of the young man said he was terrified. But you know what we'll do, man? That peer pressure, that father pressure. Oh, this is a once-in-a-lifetime trip. Well, it turned out to be once in a lifetime. They're making jokes about this, but it's really nothing to joke about. That young guy was 19 years old, man. He didn't get the chance to live. There was a billionaire on there. But we're infatuated with that, and venture tourism is here to stay. Because, hell, they've got they're saying that this submersible wasn't up to speed. They said because they've got vehicles that will go 36,000 feet down into the ocean. Wow. He called it some region down there when it's way down there like that, 36,000. He said so. This one wasn't up to speed. People, they question, the integrity of that vehicle, man. But, when you got money like that, and, politics gets involved, he takes it out in international waters. So it's different rules out there. And, it was just a terrible way to die. Hey, Kevin Kennedy, thanks for that super sticker. Ben Rod said, I love your channel, bro. Thank you. What's up, Market Focus? He said, hey, Cal. King Arthur says, I love the channel. Many doctor appointments. After all is in order, I am getting the hell out of here, either later this year or early next year. Yeah, but they say that we're complaining all the damn time. Foreigners do. We're hard to please over here. And I'm going to tell you something, man. When you come over here, people are already kind of shy and bashful and kind of embarrassed. We make it worse. There was a guy, he was in the province, when I was in the province, down in a little place called Louis. He didn't want to sit down on the people's bench and all of that, it was. I'm like, dude, you in the wrong place. Why would you even come here if you're going to act like that? He didn't eat nothing. He didn't touch nothing. It's like Come on, dude. Hey, thanks for that super sticker, Rod. Ben Rods. Tall Barber, thanks for that super chat. He said, good morning, Cal. Had to bless you up again on the second entry of the Unspoken Agreement series, waiting for the next one to drop. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that, man. Anybody who's already downloaded those books, man, I really appreciate it. It's just something, man, that I wanted to do because, they said if you want to hide something from people, put it in a book. See, I can say whatever I want to say in these books because the trolls aren't going to read. The haters aren't going to read. The people who misinterpret what I say, they're not going to pick up that book and read it. See, so I was telling Marilyn that last night. She was like, yeah, well, you entered into that YouTube, so, no sense in you complaining. I don't complain, but I'm just telling you that when I'm writing now, I can escape all that criticism because they're not going to read. But this next one's going to be good. I've got 4 other stories I've already written. I'm letting a friend of mine, he's a college professor, I'm going to let him edit them because I want to give you the best of what I've got. I've got good ideas. Okay, wait. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me put that back. I didn't mean to do that. But anyway, I'm sorry. I can't, like I said, I'm using this damn YouTube today. I usually use StreamYard. Jay Money says, Stefania writes spouses to have patience and some wisdom on past experiences. Yeah, I would say that. I was just thinking that today. I didn't mean to delete your message, Saul Barber. It's just I don't know what I'm doing on this damn YouTube. It's been so long. Ben Rod says, I was really surprised when you went to Mindanao. So many people talk about being scared to go there. Mindanao is vast. It's the second largest island in the Philippines, second only to Luzon. But it's vast. Yeah, there are a few trouble spots, but for the most part, Mindanao is safe for me. I mean, you're not going to have any problems. What's up, Stephen and Ellie Adventures? W Secret Success, thanks for that super chat. He says, any watercraft that's not seaworthy for the U.S. government isn't good enough to trust my life on, period. Yeah, I have to say that too, man. A couple of people, they spoke out against that. And then one guy actually withdrew. He said, no, I got some questions about the safety of this vehicle. Give me my money back. And they were talking to him. And they just said once it got to that they said it was about at 9,000 feet when it just, it couldn't stand the pressure. This was like the third time it went down, but they were talking about how it, the pressure, then it releases when it comes up. This was the third time, and that pressure is going to tell. It's going to tell on you what kind of vehicle you got, and it couldn't hold up, man. And the only good thing that came out of that, according to the experts, is death was instantaneous. The one guy, he said it was like a bullet to the brain. So, yeah. Jude K said, what's up, man? How Haywood Robinson. Just hit that like button. Brandon Bonner said, what's up, Cal and fellas? But don't blame it on Elette. She's doing the best she can, guys. Come on now. She errs on the side of caution. That's what I like about her, because a lot of people get on here and they disguise themselves as supporters, but they really hate us. So, I was just saying that I'm glad that she's quick with that trigger, man, because, YouTube is watching too. It's just not her. A lot of the spam and a lot of stuff like that can get my channel in trouble. Journey Trials and Joy says, yeah, Ben, neither, but still, would you rather, if trapped in the sub, die one of two ways. It's kind of crazy. Yo Joe said, "Good morning, Cal, from Ann's bungalow in Sikihor Island." Yeah, sad news about the submersible, about reputation of foreigners, American and others. Each man projects his own. Well, you're gonna have to. You got that to prove. But once you get off that plane and they see you, that's what they're thinking. Kamal says, "I agree. There was still speculation about pulling the Titanic to shore, knowing damn well would disintegrate." Yeah, and I just don't understand why we won't leave it alone. I don't see people giving tours of the damn graveyards and stuff. But who's to say that won't happen? Because we're weird, man. DLS Tune says, "I'm excited. Me and my uncle coming there in December for 7 days. And his wife there is coming back with us." Wow. Man, you got a lot to see in 7 days, man. But I tell people, come, man. Even if you got, I know a guy who came here for 1 day, believe it or not. He worked for Delta. Actually, I knew 2 guys. Yeah, Frank Ellis said 12,000 feet is some serious pressure. They didn't even make it. They made it about 9,000 feet, and that thing exploded, man. Let Gabe equal true. Said the water crushed that underwater vehicle like if the Empire State Building fell on your body. Wow. I love the chance. I'm definitely not a hater. No, certainly not. Yeah, he said 12,000. Tall Barber said 12,000 foot would be like an elephant stepping on a grate. Wow. That's crazy, man. Johnny S said 5,000 per square inch. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I mean, I can't even imagine. I'd be struggling with claustrophobia anyway. And you tell me you're going to take me way down there like that? Ben Rod said Thailand's awesome too. I like Thailand. Fresh Law said, "What up, Cal? If I had 250,000 for a submarine ride, I prefer to help people with my money rather than go on a ghost tour of the Titanic." Really? Yeah, I say the same thing. Like, what is it about the Titanic that's so fantastic? I'm glad I missed it. I'm glad that went over my head because I don't have that kind of money to waste, and I don't get it. I mean, I just don't really get it. Hey, Paul Besa says, "I'm watching and listening from Caloocan, North Metro Manila, Philippines." Yeah, he said that the vehicle was the size of an SUV. And see, even if they were still down there, man, imagine it took 73 years to find the Titanic. So what would make you think it was going to be such an easy job to find that thing? But now, it blew up. Emerson Ward said, "My brother, I just ran across your channel. I'm in Manila now. I'll be here until July 7th. I love to link to pick your brain to make this a trip of a lifetime." Well, fly on over to Iloilo, man. We're having a meet and greet June the 29th. And I want to send my condolences out to Stephen and Bea. Her father just passed away. So I don't think they're going to be at the meet and greet. They were co-sponsoring it. Her father died suddenly. But it's at the Bourbon Street Bar and Grill. One of the guys that follows my channel, he's got a YouTube channel, a Facebook page, and he ate lunch there, man. The food looked delicious. He said some of the best seafood he's had, fish and chips, since he's been to the Philippines. James Dunn says, "Hey, Cal, enjoy your channel. Would like to see you interview the Philippine people on how they seem to stay positive." Well, they've got a word over here. It's called content. See, in America, we're taught never to be satisfied. There's always something bigger, badder. There's always a bigger, better deal out there. But over here, they seem to be content. And then, a lot of people here, remember, if you want to know something about a Filipino, you're right. I should interview them. You need to ask Filipinos because I really don't know. I can only speculate. But from what I'm looking, a lot of people, they're very religious over here. So they say, well, this is God's will. There's no sense in me complaining. I'm going to do the best I can. There's something better for me in the afterlife. That's just the way they look at it. Hey, Musical Diversity says, hello, brother. Coming there next month for my second time to visit my fiance. Hopefully our F1 application, K1, will be approved soon. Yeah, I think it's the catching up. They were put back because of the pandemic and the lockdowns. But normally, that K1 is about 6 months. Sometimes it could be faster. My son's mother, she was approved in 3 months. We were approved in 6 months, but we had some difficulty. It ended up taking us 22 months, but we were approved in 6 months. We went to the interview, and my son was not a K2. He was a U.S. citizen. So they said, hey, you got to get the CRBA. So that took about a month. So then her physical expired. She had to go get another physical. She failed that. Had to wait 6 months again. It was just a disaster. But normally it's 6 to 9 months. And then you got 3 more months once you get her in America, if that's where you're from. No Tingo Dinero says, what's up, Cal? I see a lot of bloggers talking about Thailand, but what are places to see in Pattaya besides the red light district? It's a lot of places to see. I mean, you just go to that beach road. That's worth it right there. That long stretch of beach with all the businesses and all the people and just that. But Mr. Lee was telling me, he could take me to see the elephants, the tigers, and the food, man. It is an international feel there in Thailand. Thailand's no joke. Okay, if you ever get a chance to go to Thailand, you can go to the Philippines too. I never try to really compare them. Jay Money says, Cal, this will be my first flight. You keep my hope alive by flying to the Philippines. I'm on a leap of faith. Yeah, come on over here, man. Get out of that comfort zone. We talked about that. You're going to feel a whole lot better, brother, once you do that. Elect Mikado said, Jay Money, congratulations. You got this. Yeah, it's a long trip, man. But once you get here, you're going to be like, wow. That's how I was, I had been to different places, but I'd never flown this far. It's far. John Cooper picks a bourbon bar and grill, seafood, Cajun style. Yeah, just curious because the name would work well for a Louisiana Cajun restaurant. Yeah, the food is delicious. Steven had told me anyway. He's the one that booked the place. But then I saw John is his name. He went there for lunch. He said, well, I was just curious. I was in Iloilo. He said, I didn't expect it. He said he was expecting more bread than meat. The pictures he showed me. Colin B says, hey, Cal, here in Fields, now enjoying my time up in Lyon, still learning more about the culture and people. Thanks to my lady. Yeah, see, that's another, I'm glad you brought this up, that foreigners have, that we have no interest in the culture and language. And that's seen as being disrespectful. We won't try the food. We don't even try to speak one bit of the language. We actually want them to speak to us in our language. How arrogant could that be? Emerson Ward says, I'm headed back to Thailand when I leave the Philippines. It'll be my second trip to Thailand. I went last year. I love it there. I was there too last year. I went there last year too on my visa run. Then Rod says, I want to go to the province where they speak Chavacano so that I can speak to them in Spanish. I heard Chavacano is like at least 80% Spanish. Well, if you look at the history of Filipino language, Tagalog, Spanish is at the root of it. So a lot of the words you're gonna recognize, but certainly in Chavacano, they call it the Latin. In Zamboanga is called the Latin city of Asia. Let's see what we got. Fresh Lord said, "Oh, Brother Cal will be there in the Ormic Lake area on August 18th for a few weeks. I'm hopeful you have a meet and greet in that time frame. Love your channel." Yeah, it'll probably be at the end of the month. I always do it at the end of the month. That gives us time to find a place. That's the reason I do it at the end of the month. You're going to like Ormic. I liked it. I've got some friends there. They've got an Airbnb. He's half Filipino, half German. His wife is Filipino. I've met his mother. She met the father way back in 1980 during the pen pal days. She got on a plane and went over there sight unseen. And they were together for like 36 years before he died. But she is a brilliant woman, man. She's just very smart. She does what a lot of Filipinos do when they move overseas. She started sending money back here, buying land. She built just a humongous house. And now they use the upstairs as Airbnb. They're great people, man. Hey, Tall Barber, thanks for that super chat. He said, hey, Cal, have you ever thought about the translation device called Time Kettle? They work as AirPods do and connect to your phone. I've never heard of that. When I was I used to date a woman from Cuba. And the first time I met her, because, my Spanish is zip and her English was really zip. So we were using her iPhone, just going back and forth. But, the human spirit, man, is so phenomenal. And, the connection was there. The attraction was there. We stayed together for 2 years, man. And the only reason that, to be honest with you, the only reason we split up was because I had that K1 visa in for my wife that I eventually married. Because I didn't think it was going to go through. So I said, well, hell, it was 22 long months. And so I met her. And she really was a fantastic woman. The poor man's passport guide said, come to the USA. No one is expected to speak English. That's right. But I think that's a good thing. Well, no, it's not. That's not true. You are expected to speak English over there. And how many viral videos have you seen people make on YouTube and Instagram where somebody's speaking their native language and then some Karen turns around and lets them have it? Luke Logo to Original says Sunshine is a David Groggins of PI. Not yet, man. Man, if I had his discipline, but I'm getting there, man. Winston Graham says, hey, Cal, we'll have boots on the ground July 4th for 1 month, brother. I appreciate your impact and reach. You're doing a great job. I'm looking forward to your July meet and greet. It's probably going to be back in Cebu. I love Cebu, really. And then JRC Consultancy, they asked me to be part of they've got a commercial series that they're doing. And they want me to be a part of it, so I got to go to Cebu July 5th to tape that. I'm excited about that. They've got a big reach, and because I'm always talking them up on my channel, and they noticed that. So the marketing director reached out to me. He said, "Hey, we're doing some commercials, and we want you to be a part of it." So I said, "Okay, I'll do it." It should be fun. Frank Ellis says, I've got the time kettle. It works great. Now, a lot of times, does it have Tagalog on it, though? Because a lot of times when you go to these translation apps, they don't have Bisaya and Tagalog and stuff. I don't know what that's all about. Music Diversity says, yes, I'm from America. Thanks for the info. When I was there last year, we took a trip to Tagaytay. This time we plan to go to Iloilo. Thanks again for the info. I appreciate it. Yeah, you get 3 extra months, because when she gets over there, her hair is going to be on fire. You can kind of like sit back and watch her in action and how she's going to react. Because remember, to a lot of Filipino people, not all of them, America's like Disneyland. It's some place they've always dreamed of going, dreamed of living, dreamed of visiting, working there. If I were you, I'd watch a video I've got that says, stop, don't bring your Filipino wife or girlfriend home. I'm not discouraging you. I'm just telling you some of the risks that you run when you bring them there. And it gives a lot of good information, man. Tall Barber says some people don't realize the United States doesn't have an official language. Wow. Ben Rod said 200 people watching. Come on, peeps. Hit that like button. Okay. Frank Ellis said, yeah, it does, Cal. And more languages are being added with updates. Well, that's great because that would make things a lot more interesting. So what would you do? Put it in there, cut it on. Hell, you could sit that around wherever you are and get the 411, because one thing about visiting a country, no matter what country it is, and you don't understand the language, they're certainly talking about you. Stephen and Elliot Vincent said, Cal, been here over 10 times, still learning new things. Everything. Okay. And still learning new things. Everything. I come this morning, I had the trash collection guy here. Wow, he was happy. And the feel-good feeling made me feel good. He earned a few pesos. Yeah, Filipino people, they're just so friendly, man. I mean, they just are. Let's see what he says about taxis. S1 Philly Vibe says, hey, Cal, any advice on taxis at the airport? I plan on arriving at Clark's Airport 1st of September. Hope I don't get scammed. Well, you won't if you get into the white taxi and get in the line at the airport, because they're going to have a guy there. He's writing down the license plate and everything. And it's like, if you have, it's like a, I don't want to say anyway, if you have any problems, you can call a number on there and everything like that. And then just tell them to cut the taxi on. If you don't, just say, hey, man, stop. Say politely, let me out. If not, that would be kidnapping. I love the chance that speaking English is a requirement for my job, fortunately. Yeah, if you're in America, but when you come over here, we want the people to speak our language. They're in their own country. Some guy, was in my comments. Oh, he says that when I was interviewing Darren, he says it's not true what I said about Filipinos not speaking English over here. They know how to speak English, dummy. I know you're watching me now. I said that most of the time they're speaking their own language. He claimed he was up in Manila somewhere and everybody spoke English. Well, they do. They know how to, but they're not speaking English. They're speaking their language. I don't blame them. They're gracious enough to talk to you, but they don't have to. They'll hit that switch, man, and you won't know what they're saying. Like I said, even in my own house, half the time, or more than half the time, I don't understand what people are saying, but that's on me. I don't expect them to change, but I did tell Marilyn the next time we go out to eat and you're with a Filipino, you're talking to whoever is with us with a girlfriend, y'all need to speak in English because they're talking about us, man. It puts you at a great disadvantage when you don't understand the language because they're going to talk about you. Lee Smith 05 said, LOL, I just watched my first David Goggins video just prior to clicking into the live stream. Yeah, he's a beast, man. Ben Ross said, hey, Cal, how long you been living out there? Almost 5 years in a row now, but on and off, I've been coming here since 2009. Going on 15 years. It'll be 15 years in April, Ben. I am Victoria. Said, good evening, Cal. What's the scenario look like as far as cosmetic dentistry work there? Can I get work done at a reasonable rate? Thanks in advance. Yeah, a few of my friends have had. I've got a guy. His name is I want to say Leslie. Well, he came over and had implants, and I believe he paid $600,000 for everything. There's a YouTuber called Philippines Extremes. He had some done, and he said it was at a greater discount. To pull a tooth here, which I've had a tooth pulled, it's like 500 pesos. That's everything, and then they'll give you the prescription, which is extra, which is really nothing, antibiotic. Emerson Ward said, what was the name of the place where the meet and greet will be? It's called the Bourbon Street Bar and Grill. It's in the Festive Walk, so it's a nice area where it's located. It's a lot of Airbnb, condominiums, and hotels around that area, Steven said. So you're not going to have a problem. It comes right up in Google. Frank Ellis said, yeah, they talking about us and getting a chuckle out of it. Yeah, they are. And it makes me feel uncomfortable, but, what do you expect? You're in another country. Either learn the language or you got to put up with that. And, what bothers me, whether I'm in the Philippines or wherever I am, when people see me and they start giggling. See, I don't like that. I think that's very disrespectful. I think that's very... you're not being courteous of other people's feelings. Like, what are you giggling for? I already feel uncomfortable. I don't understand what you're saying. Now you're giggling. John Cooper's pick says, get the advantage. Learn enough of their language to know what they're saying, but we might not want to know what they're saying about us. Yeah, see, this is where I am. I'm exactly right there. I learned enough over here to be respectful, to show that, I respect the people in the culture, but I really don't want to know 100% of what you're saying. Because I come over here to live a stress-free life. I don't want to get into arguments. I don't want to get into fights. The less I know, the better off I am. My mother always used to say that, and it's true. And that's how I feel about learning the language over here. A chocolate man, Mike Philippines, says, how you doing, Uncle Cal? Keep the content coming. Have a prosperous day. I noticed that you say that to every single vlogger that you comment under. I mean, I appreciate it, but I'm just saying, why do you do that? You say that to every single vlogger. You say the exact same thing. And it's like, it makes me feel like you're being disingenuous when you do that. But I could be wrong. But every time I see you on another channel, you say the exact same thing. Keep the hot content coming. Have a prosperous day. And I'm like, dude, we're all different. Emerson Ward said, I've been using Grab for transportation. Seems like no fuss, no muss solution. Yeah, believe it or not, though, Grab is more expensive than a taxi. But you're right. You don't have to worry about getting in and turning on the meter or anything. But it really is. Thank you. It really is. It's more expensive because Grab puts that service fee on top. Look, they'll send you a bill. Look at it. You're going to see how much you're paying for the trip. Then you're going to see the service fee, and you'll be like, wow. And then you say, well, it's worth it because I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to worry about that. But I just want to let you know that it's on there, because a lot of people, they don't look at that receipt that Grab sends them, so they don't know any better. They said the whole town's laughing at me. Yeah, I mean, it just makes me feel uncomfortable, man, when people are giggling around me. I love LaChan said, now giggling is definitely sending a message in any language. Dog Barber said, get that time kettle, brother. Flip the script on them. Oh, man. uh, 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 I love the child says, are they pointing while they giggle count? No, but it's just it's you they're talking about, and I just don't think that's good manners to do that. I would never do that. I teach my children, don't ever do stupid stuff like that. You know, but remember, I'm in another culture. Maybe it's nothing wrong with that over here. This is what I'm saying, guys. When you talk about learn as much about the culture as you possibly can. Don't ask me, ask the Filipinos. Say, hey, why do y'all laugh and giggle, when you see us? They'll tell you. AC King says if it's women who are giggling, they probably think you're cute. Yeah, it's usually women. Okay, he says, I say it, Uncle, because without prosperity, we have no abundance. He said, repetition is key to success, Uncle, and I like to keep life simple. Okay, brother. I just wanted to know because I see you say that to everybody. So you're right. Repetition is part of that process. Logo 2 Original says, I'm a feel, and I'm a fan of Sir Calvin Goggins. Folks overseas will thank you later. Respect, kudos. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. That's my buddy Q Dubs. He said, when I was in Costa Rica, them cab drivers burned my pockets up. Every trip was $10 both ways. Wow. Not going far at all. Ed Denoy says, hey, Cal. Yeah, over here, man, it shouldn't be that much. But what I did was, just for my own sake, I took a taxi from my Airbnb to Ayala Mall. It was only like 65 pesos or something like that, right? So then I took the Grab. But hell, the Grab was 215 pesos. And I'm like, well, what the hell? And I did it more than once. And it was always more to ride the Grab. But I know what you're paying for, guys. You're paying for the convenience. You're paying for the safety. But over the course of time, remember, we waste a lot of money on Grab and taxis over here. I would say if you're going to be here and you don't mind getting on that road, which is a dangerous place to be over here, the most dangerous place in the Philippines is on the road. Wow, I just saw Ada. She's with, it's two white guys. Remember, this is a resort I'm staying on. I don't know if they're probably going to take diving lessons. But one woman is half black. I don't know. She may be from Europe, maybe from Africa. But they just walk past. But yeah, we spend a lot of money on Grab and taxis. It adds up, man, when you live in Manila and Cebu, because you're always moving around. But if you're not afraid to go on and rent that motorcycle for $350, $400 a day, it's going to save you enough. Jay Shabazz says it's $3,500 enough, I hope. What do you mean, per month? Or just for your trip over here? If it's per month, then let me say this again. The Philippine Statistics Authority says that if you earn $3,808 US per month, you're considered rich here. They didn't say you're living good. They said you're considered rich here in the Philippines. So yeah, you're right there at the door at 3,500. You would be considered rich. There's no way that you couldn't make that over here. The bottom line, though, really is the woman you got laying next to you. Does she have children? Because this is your greatest expense. Nothing even comes close to that. This is where you're going to spend most of your money, dealing with her needs, taking her places, and everything like that, trying to impress her. If you were going to be single, man, you would live a life of your dreams on 3,500 over here. But we remember the reputation is we're loose with our money. We're very generous. We waste a lot of money over here. And they'll tell you, they look at you, they're going to stay at that hotel and resort that you're staying at, but they're looking at you like, this guy's stupid. He's spending all this money on this place. Because every time I book a place, Maryland's first saying, well, how much is it? Because it's a lot of money to them. Clint Dow said, could you post a date and time and place for the ELO meeting again, please? I will. Thank you for that reminder. I'll do that today, Clint Dow. If you go on my community page, it's not that far down. You'll see it, but I'll do it again. Hey, Gina GCCTV says, shout out Calvin from Northwest Florida. Oh, man, thank you. S1 Philly Vibe says, hey, Cal, put the translation app on the phone and put your iPods on your ear. Everything I do around my Spanish friends, you have to the last laugh on them. Yeah. But remember, everything doesn't translate over to English. This is what's so funny, though. Go on Facebook and follow one of your Filipino friends and hit that translation button, man. It's outrageous. It's ridiculous. It's so hilarious, man. Yeah, Jay Shabazz says per month. Yeah, you're going to live damn well over here. Frank Ellis said get a scooter. I would. If I'm not afraid to get on that road. See, that's the reason I bought Merlin that motorcycle. She already had one, but it was just too little for me. I'm on the back of the damn thing. So we basically upgraded because it saved me a lot of money, even in San Carlos, because remember, I help people every day. So every time I step foot in a tricycle, I don't care if I'm going right up the street, I give them 50 pesos because I'm taking up the whole tricycle. So if it's 50 pesos there, 50 pesos back, that's 100 pesos a day. So if you do that twice, it's 200 pesos a day. It's $5 a day. You're talking about $150 a month. That's a lot of money, man, that you could have in your pocket. Ed Denoy says, I hate wasting money. I would never fit in. Yeah, you would. Because Filipinos, they don't waste money. It reminds me of when I was growing up, man, we used every damn thing. We rigged it. You know what they called it when you rigged it. I'm not going to say it over here on my channel, but y'all know. They'll say, oh, yeah, he rigged it. And that's what they do over here. But they're not wasting any money, man. Filipinos, they'll save their money for something they really want. I told you when my son was born over here, I didn't have enough money, right, to get him and my wife out of the hospital. It was like 300 and whatever it was, like 300 or 350,000 pesos. Whatever it was, I was 50,000 pesos short because I wasn't retired at the time. I didn't have a residual income. And he gave me the 50,000. I was shocked that he had it. He was only earning like 140 a month, but this guy saved. They saved. And they do the same thing when they go on trips and stuff around the country. But now they're not going to waste any money. So you fit right in over here. Curtis Thomas says, so where are the malls and grocery market in Sikihor? How far is the taxi ride to it? Well, they don't have a mall here. But remember, all that is in Dumaguete. It's only 30 minutes away, Curtis. It's only 30 minutes away by Ocean Jet. Over here, this is the resort area. This is the thanks, Irvin Gilcrease, for that super sticker. He said, thanks for being you. I appreciate it. This is the resort area right here where I'm in San Juan, Sikihor Island. This is where a lot of the resorts and restaurants and everything. But that's what you come here for. There's no malls here. The malls, the big mall, that big Robinson Mall, is in Dumaguete. So all you have to do is just go over there, get everything. You could go over there once a week. You could go over there every day. Some people come over here. Some people work in Dumaguete, and some people in Dumaguete work here. They go back and forth every single day because they've got the Ocean Jet, which runs twice a day here, and then they've got the Montenegro, which it's like 4 or 5 times a day. Frank Ellis says, I plan on living alone because I don't do well living with a woman. I've been there, done that. It never works out. She's always leaves after 6 months. I'm a bachelor for life. Well, you're going to save a lot of money. And it's the only regret I really have about coming over here. And I'll be honest about it. I just didn't spend enough time by myself. I've never been single here. I've never spent probably a day by myself, unless I'm waiting for Marilyn to come back. She's in transit. And I just think that I don't think that's a good thing to do. It has its pros and cons, but if I could do it all over again, I would certainly be single because, when you get to a certain age, you just don't want people with their eyes on you all the time. And, Filipinos, they got control issues, man. They want to see you at all times. They trust you as far as they can see you, literally, over here. And that gets old, man. You'll be like, man, you don't want to. I feel henpecked sometimes. I feel like the world is closing in on me because if I just move, what are you doing? If I get up to check my phone, she's up. Oh, what are you checking your phone for? And it gets old, man. But at the same time, I've been doing it so long that I've gotten used to it. I don't think right now, if I was single now, it would be good because I'm so used to people being around me. I love the child said, I guess if I lived in the Philippines, I wouldn't be signing on the road again. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Shout out to Gina GCCTV. What, you got a channel, Gina? D says, I'm moving there this year, and I plan on building an apartment building for income. Yeah, shut the door. Oh, that's okay. Now, that's a good idea. Anything centered around real estate over here in Asia, especially the Philippines, is a great idea. But just make sure that your partner, because you're going to need a partner unless you're Filipino, so to own that land and everything. But that's a great idea. Because if you go to any of these places, they're always building. Remember on my video yesterday, in this little big place, Siquijua Island, which they call it the Virgin Island because nobody's here, man. They continuously building places. I'm like, they must know something I don't know because nobody's here. But that doesn't stop them from building. I guess if you build it, they'll come. Curtis Thomas says, I want to come to the meet and greet, but I'm in America, Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, that would make it tough. Dexter Dixon says, how's it going, Cal? My Filipino wife and I met in the U.S. We've been married over 20 years. I'll be coming for the first time in October. Can't wait to see paradise. Yeah, has she been home? That's kind of interesting. Y'all been married 20 years, and this will be your first time coming. Well, I'm pretty sure she's going to enjoy herself, too. And it's changed, man. It's changed since 2009. When I came here, most of the places, especially Dumaguete's like night and day. When I started coming over here, I first went to Dumaguete in 2010. Man, you could walk across the street with a blindfold. It was just a little sleepy place. Nothing like it is now. Dumaguete's really booming, man, for a place that size. I like visiting there, but I don't think I would want to live there because my lifestyle is just more slowed down and laid back. Dumaguete's got some distractions, man, over there. And the guy was telling me, because there's a lot of beautiful women in Dumaguete. in close proximity. But he said, Cal, they won't fool with you. He said, because a lot of them, they go to these colleges. Dumaguet's got Silliman College, Negros Oriental State College. He said a lot of them got their own boyfriends, their own lives, their own jobs. They don't deal with foreigners. I never knew that, though. I've never experienced that. But I know if you go over there, your eyes are going to pop out of your damn head. I mean, I was sitting in Ground Zero one time just eating my hamburger and looking out the window, man. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. Robert Dame said, she looks good without makeup. You have a winner. She doesn't need makeup. Very rare. Yeah, they get us on that one, Robert, because we can't wear makeup. Sammy Davis says, I'm not advocating for them, but I figured it's cheaper to buy myself an e-bike. As long as it's under 50 kilometers per hour, there's no license or registration. It'll pay for itself in about 200 days. And how much, what is an e-bike? People have talked about that before. I've never seen one, I don't think. Q Dub says, hey, Cal, I need a spot on the beach like you be looking out for a place for me out there. Oh, man, you'll find them here because, especially San Juan, because nobody's here. So a lot of these small resort owners, a lot of them have a place that they'll rent you long term if they're smart. They would rather have that money. Now, this place is popular. I mean, it's a little small place, but it's very popular. It's always got people here. And it's just an unassuming place. They don't have any flashing lights out front. He just has good customer service. He's a great individual, and it draws people back. And it doesn't hurt that he's right on the ocean. But you wouldn't have a problem finding it because a friend of mine, he's right down the street now. That's what happened. Remember I told you the lady said, hey, I know you got a YouTube channel. I'll give one of your subscribers a special rate. Well, hell, it was so special, he rented 2 rooms next to each other. So he's got them both on a monthly basis because they were empty. It was crickets. So she said, I'd rather have that money coming in than none. I am Victoria says, Mr. Cal, I think the fact that you're building a support group for expats there is a very smart move. How can I get in contact with you regarding business matters? Well, you can get in contact with me, but it wouldn't be any business. I don't want anything to do with business over here. I came here really to retire. This isn't work to me. People say, well, you spend all that time on your YouTube channel. I really don't. On my live stream, man, I'm just having a conversation. It's like I'm having a one-on-one conversation with somebody. It just so happens that 200 people are watching. But this isn't work to me. No way. Especially my videos, man. I could come up off the top of my head. Remember, I've been here on and off for 14 years. If you've been over here that long and you can't come up with information that's pertinent and relevant to somebody's situation, then you probably shouldn't be on YouTube. Okay? Because as I look out over the YouTube arena in the Philippines, man, it's just so cringy. But I get it because a lot of the channels are new and they're just talking about the same thing over and over, but it'll hit them one day. They're like, oh, okay, maybe I can talk about this, but I get it. But if you look out over the arena, you're like, man, So if you start talking about real life stuff that I talk about, you'll get some traction. That's the only reason that I can figure it out. That and the fact that the pandemic hit and it stopped people in their tracks and YouTube became real popular. Tony Tide 50 says, hey, Cal, this guy in the Philippines, his channel is the black man in the village. He takes care of the village. He's doing great work. Yeah, he is. I just think that when people give back like that, it's real noble over here. I mean, you got to be careful. You don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I think everybody in their space can do something. And that's what he's doing. I do the spin wheel. That's how my channel got started. And, whatever it is, because I'm not going to live my best life and close by people are going to be struggling, man. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good. Now, is it your responsibility? No. But if you're going to live here and, you're doing the things that I'm doing, it's not a good look if you're not giving back. And it's just something I'm going to do anyway. And it's better than just going around handing out money like I used to do. Man, on my first trip, I told you when I had 20,000, and I went home and I spent over 7,000. And I was like, well, damn, I thought the Philippines was supposed to be cheap. But a lot of that money, man, I guarantee you $500 I gave away. The woman that was with me was just looking at me like, what's wrong with you? Don't do that. It's against the law. They frown on that. You're not helping people. But hell, I never seen the type of poverty. And trust me, I grew up poor on American standards, but I wasn't used to what I saw over here first time I came here. And I was giving away a lot of money. So I said, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. So I created a game that gives back. But yeah, the black man in the village, he is doing great. Hey, Emmanuel Jones said, hey, Uncle Cal and the Sunshine Crew. But yeah, Frank Ellis is on to something about living with himself, but that'll get old too. And it just depends, man. If you can withstand the temptation that's going to be over here, you're going to be fine. But I've gotten so used to being around family that I don't want to be by myself now. If Marilyn and them, when they're not around me, I feel funny. But, it's like the woman that you're probably end up meeting over here is probably going to be something that you're not used to. You probably haven't been around since you were younger. And a lot of guys, they want to see that every day. They say, yeah, come on, move on in. Sometimes it could be good. Sometimes it can be bad. Because now, women are getting smart over here. They're starting to think like we are. They're thinking, okay, well, it was easy for him to meet me online. Now it's like, well, it was easy for me to meet him online. So now they're saying, okay, well, if you want to go. All I got to do is get back online, and I'm seeing them doing it. But I don't think it's the type of woman I want to deal with. But the women are doing that over here. A lot of them are doing it. They'll break up with a man, and they'll be with a man the next damn day. I'm seeing it. Trust me. And it's shocking to me because I never expected that. But you learn something every day. I love the chat said, I have a comment about dudes wearing makeup, but I'll probably get timed out again. Yeah, we're at a disadvantage with that. I love the chat. What you see is what you get with us. You don't have a whole lot to say so. Okay, Jacob Chanje says electronic bicycle runs on battery charge. Would that be like a scooter or something? Puck Daddy said, greetings, Sir Calvin. Let's be real. Retiring, moving out of the country, new relationship, that's a lot for anyone. So many things to go wrong. Take one at a time on your terms. Make yourself number one. Yeah, that's great. That's a great comment. You're right. Just coming over here is enough. But we add on to it already, like he said. We'll have a live-in. We're trying to learn the culture. We're trying to learn our way around. And you got that woman, man. I tell you, that's a handful over here. MZGASMR says, Calvin, do Filipinos give you the silent treatment the same way Thai women do? Yeah, they call it, what do they call that over here? Because I don't deal with it. And any woman that I meet, I tell them right away, I don't deal with it. It's called tampo. Yeah, they'll do it. I don't deal with it. I've never dealt with it. If I did, I didn't know it because I'm not around. But I don't deal with that. And yeah, they'll do it. They'll start acting, pouting and all that. Pout by yourself. What's up, Franz Procil Jr.? What's up, brother? He said, what's up, brother Cal? Hope all he's living his best life in the in Cebu, single, single. And I would think for anybody like that, when you first get over, I just said it, man, having a relationship and all that, when you first come over here, on top of all the other stuff, you're going to be like, man, I didn't come all the way over here for that. Because I'm going to tell you, they jealous, man, just give yourself some time. Lee Smith, Professor, man, you're right, they're possessive. And that too. So you'll be over here, you're like, well, damn, I thought I came over here to relax and have a good time. But then it's like, well, where were you? And where you been? And who you talking to? James Dunn said, Calvin, does the U.S. military build-up concern you? It doesn't. It doesn't. Because the U.S. military, believe it or not, they've been here, man. I lived in Zamboanga on and off for 10 years. Majority of the time I spent in Zamboanga. And I saw military there all the time. They haven't went anywhere, really. Not to the point where they're building up now, but it was just a matter of time when the U.S. was going to get back in here. Okay. But if something kicks off like what people think is going to kick off, man, no matter where you are, it's going to affect you. Imagine if the United States went to war with China. Come on, man. They're going to fight over here in the Philippines, but eventually it's going to reach America too. You're not going to be able to travel anywhere. It's going to be a World War III. People are going to be on, America's going to have allies. China's going to have allies. I just don't think it's going to happen, man. China hasn't went to war with anybody in a long, long time. Damn near 50 years. They really do have diplomacy, Now we're itching for a fight, That man Travis said, Calvin, when are you going to have a meet and greet in Cebu again? July is going to be the meet and greet in Cebu again. Ben Rod said, do you watch Sabong out there? When I was in Zamboanga, I did. I really didn't have a choice because right in front of my door every Sunday was cockfighting. But it's big money here. It's big business. They've got online Sabong now. They're trying to outlaw it. It's just so lucrative, man. But it's causing so many problems, because it's just like us over in America, when you go to that casino. Most of the people that go to the casino really can't afford it. We're trying to get lucky. And it's the same thing over here. Men are, they're gambling away money that should be better spent probably in the house, causing a lot of problems. Yeah, Ramon said, Cal, you are henpecked, but if it works for you, great. No, I'm not henpecked. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not. I won't deal with it, but I'm telling you that they will try to henpeck you. Marilyn knows she can't do it. No woman I've ever dealt with. This is a problem I always have with my relationship. If they ever try to henpeck me, I just leave. I'm not going to deal with that. I'm a grown man. Hell, I'm 60 years old. I'm in the fourth quarter of my life. If you don't know me by now, you're never going to know me. Trust is big with me. If you don't trust me, there's no sense in you being around me. Go on somewhere with all of that. I'm not going to put up with it. No, I'm not henpecked. I'm sorry. I'm not. I can get up right now and go anywhere I want. And it's always been that way. Okay, because I saw my mother henpeck my stepfather. Not my father, because he wasn't going to deal with it either. But my stepfather, yeah. She henpecked him to the point where I felt sorry for him. If he didn't come home, if he got his paycheck and he didn't come home in a certain amount of time, my mother put on her clothes, she went looking for him. And I see that over here. But I don't see it with foreigners. I see it with Filipinos. Filipino women will do that, man. You better bring that check home. I'm coming out there. I'm looking for you. In the, wherever you drinking with the guys or whatever. And I'm going to bring your ass home. But I won't deal with that. I've never dealt with it, and I never will. That's just how I am. Jared, Gillespie e-bike electrical assist, yeah. I wouldn't even want that. I mean, if I'm going to ride a bike, let me do it for the exercise. The truth will set you free. Said nobody wants to be honest. People will and want to believe the lies instead of the truth. When you go there, you will see the truth. Yeah, see, that's exactly why I talk about the things that I talk about. And my channel's the way it is. Because eventually people are going to come over here. There's no sense in you just telling them the sugary stuff. But no place is a utopia. I'm not going to pick this place apart. It's not for me to do, though. I don't think it's my place to do that. I'm a guest here. But at the same time, I'm going to give you the nitty gritty. You're not going to get blindsided watching my channel. You know, I'm not going to make these women out to be some angels and some saints when they're, you know, basically they're just different. Okay, that's what they are. They're different. Do they have some qualities that I admire? Absolutely. That I didn't have in my previous relationships over there? Yeah. But at the end of the day, they're women. They're not from outer space. We're still on planet Earth here. Adventure Seeker, thanks for that super chat. He says, thank you, Cal. I love your videos. You're the most sincere and authentic dude on YouTube. Thank you, man. And see, this is what we were just talking about. People are going to come over here, man. And if you're a YouTuber, all you have is your credibility. You don't have anything else. Hell, do I look like Andrew Tate or anything else? Hell, do I look like Andrew Tate or one of them guys where I got millions of followers and millions of dollars coming in? It was like, this is his language. He says, I got fuck you money. Yeah, I'm a misogynist, he says. Yeah, I say racist stuff. I don't care. You can't take it away from me. See, I don't have it like that. People are gonna come over and they're gonna see me like that. People are gonna come over and they're gonna see me. They're gonna be like, this guy's phony. I thought you said this, I thought you said that. No, you're not gonna do that with me, because I'm gonna give it to you, man. And sometimes, you know, people take it the wrong way. I would never disrespect anybody. But I'm just telling you my perspective. That's all, my boots on the ground experience. If you want to know something about the Philippines and Filipino people, ask the Filipino. I'm not an expert on it. They are. But if you want to know about life as an expat in the Philippines, ask the Filipino. I'm not an expert on it. They are. But if you want to know about life as an expat in the Philippines, then you can ask me and people like me. We can give you some good information. But when it comes to culture and all that stuff like that, man, it's best to, I get all my information from Maryland, because she knows. I don't know. Oh, that man Travis said back to 56 to the dollar. Yay. Oh, man. Yeah. Tony Todd said, hey, Cal, peso is now 56 to 1. Jacob Tajay said that hamster wheel is calling. We'll catch you on next session. Thank you, brother. Gina GCCTV says, LOL Tampo, my husband hates it. Yeah, I don't deal with it. And I let them know I don't deal with that. You know, if you're going to put that, then, you know, there's the door. But anything else, you know. W Secrets to Success, thanks for that super chat. He said, Cal, where's my theme music? Real nitty gritty. Well, the guy messaged me. He said, Cal, if you want to play it, you can. But, you know, the damage is done, man. You know, I might bring it back because I love the song. I think it's a great song. I just think he hit me in the stomach when he did that. And asking me to pay him. Well, not pay him, pay his woman for it. I'm like, well, dude, I don't even play it that much. Mike's Philippine Retirement says a good woman and a good Filipino family will show you a lot of respect, and in return I give them respect. Yeah, that's usually how it is over here. You know, when people say that, oh, you got to take care of Filipinos family. Well, see, it hasn't been my experience. That's why I don't talk about it. They've never asked me for anything. Now, have they asked a woman? Probably. You know, but they never ask. It's just not that way, man. You know, Filipinos feel that they don't have to ask you. Okay, but you're right. If they're not showing you respect, you need to walk, man, because they will respect you over here. Franz Priceo Jr., thanks for that super chat. He says, Brother Cal, you've been on my case for a while and tried to open up my eyes. I didn't see it then, but now I realize it now. I didn't come all the way over here for me to deal with all the drama I was dealing with. Thanks. Yeah, brother, you know, you are in such a great position, man. And I just pulled him to the side and like, dude, you ain't got to put up with that, man. You didn't come all the way over here for that. With the cards that you have, man, you could write your own ticket, man. And, you know, and he took my advice. It took a while, but he did. And now it's like on another level. It's like something he's never experienced before. And he's not taking advantage of anybody, anything like that. He's just living his life. It's the way it should be. It's a give and take, man, over here. That man Travis said, oh my God, I just experienced that. Geechee Lance Journey says, leaving messages to St. Peter at the Golden Gate. I hate to make him wait. Main Time said, peace, brother, keep it coming. Puck Daddy said, greeting Mike's Philippine retirement. I met him before at the meet and greet. You know, he's got a new channel, but it's growing. You know, like I said, when you look out on the landscape, people aren't going to give you the nitty gritty. They're afraid to. So a lot of, you know, they're really walking on thin ice. They're walking on eggshells because they really don't know. You know, first of all, they're afraid of the trolls out there. They don't want to rattle their cage. And then, you know, they think that everything that they say, you know, has to be the sugary stuff. You can respect people without giving them the sugary stuff all the time. It's a guy that's been coming across my feed, man. I can't deal with him, man. I'm like, I'm going to tell YouTube to get rid of this guy. You are on a pink cloud, buddy. You know, eventually that pink cloud is going to burst. But 10 times out of 10 times, I would choose the Philippines simply because I feel genuinely welcomed here, like no other place I've ever been before. That's the number one reason. I don't want to be someplace where I got to look over my shoulder. I got to worry about if people like me or not. Am I welcome? And I don't get that over here. But we're still on planet Earth. You know, at the end of the day, one of the most profound things I've learned since I've been over is Filipinos are human beings. That's these women that we seem to want to put on this pedestal. After you've been over as long as I have, you say, yeah, they're good women, but they're women at the end of the day. Puck Daddy said, I like Mike's real estate and rental tours. Yeah, see, that would help because people want to know, hey, I get that every day. Where can I stay? You have any good references for me? I'm in Manila. See, I don't know a lot about Manila. If anybody on here is watching is up in Manila and knows where a guy, because, you know, he doesn't have a whole lot of money, but he doesn't want to spend a lot. You know, I said something like 2,000. Since he's in Manila, I guess like 2,000 a night. That's not bad, right? I love the Chan said the Philippines was my most welcoming country I've never been to. Second was Israel. Third was Portugal. Second to me was Mexico, because that was my first choice. I was going to relocate to Mexico. I actually made a trip in 2009, right? That was my first choice. I was going to relocate to Mexico. I'd actually made a trip in 2009, right before I came here. I went to Cancun by myself for 10 days, and I had met a gentleman. He was from America. he grew up in America, but he was a dreamer. And at that time, they wasn't giving him any slack. They caught him and put him back in Mexico. Now imagine, this guy can't speak a bit of Spanish or anything. So what he was doing, he created a job for himself. He started like being like a tour guide because he was an American, basically. But he didn't have the paperwork. But I had already settled on that. And then 2 months later, I came to the Philippines and all that changed, man. I was like, Mexico's too close for me. Yeah, he says, Frank L says, don't let these women call the shots. That's why you left the Matrix. It's not really even about that. It's about, okay, over here, there's clearly defined roles that they'll let you stay in, okay? Now, you got to, play your role. You got to fill your role. If you don't, then it's going to be some problems. I mean, if she says, hey, all I want you to do is pay the bills, then pay the bills if she's going to do everything else. But if you're not going to pay the bills, then you're going to have a problem. Merlin was telling me yesterday, she said, the biggest thing with Filipinos is that she said they'll tolerate just about anything but another woman. This is really ingrained in their head. They're one man women, and they want you to be a one woman man. Is that how it is all the time? No, but that's for the most part, you're dealing with culture over here, real culture, not a hodgepodge that we got in America. We got so much culture over there. Over here, their culture will guide them. If they're lost, they just look to their culture and it show them which way to go. I didn't have that in America. I love it. Sean says I had a different experience in Mexico. It seemed like the States to me as far as the welcoming was concerned. But not me. Maybe because I was in a resort. I went to Playa del Carmen first. Then I went to Cancun. And those people treated me like a celebrity. And, I fell in love with, remember I was dealing with the Cuban lady anyway. Remember I told you the lady, her daughter she didn't not like me. She didn't like the fact that me and her mother was, having sex. But she was beautiful. And her husband used to talk to me all the time, because I was over there all the time. And he said, Calvin, if you really want to go somewhere where beautiful women are, he said it's a lot like the Philippines. He said, come to Cuba. He said the man with money over there, he said, has his pick. And, I don't know if you've ever seen those Cuban women, man. They can be off the chain over there. But it's just too close to America. And then all the paperwork and stipulations. And because the lady, remember I was dealing with the Cuban lady. She went back because she's trying to sell her home in Cuba. So she had to go back. And while she was there, I had sent her some money, man. Western Union, oh my God. Trying to send money to Cuba, Western Union, it is a big deal. I'm telling you, it's a big deal. I believe you have to be kin to the people. So she had told me everything to do when I went there. It's a big deal. You can't just, it's not like if I'm sending money to the Philippines and I just go there and send it. No. You got to have ID. You got to have all kinds of stuff, man. Anybody on here that's ever experienced that? But he told me, he said, yeah. He says, come to Cuba, man. If you like nice looking women, and different things like that. Okay, Dexter. He said, yeah, Cal, my wife goes back about every 5 years. Now that I'm retired, we'll finally come together. Yeah, that'll certainly stop you, brother. That hamster wheel. Roger Farmer says, greetings. But yeah, let's talk about this again, our reputation over here. And, number one is womanizers. They think that we're all womanizers. And, it's not a whole lot that you can do about that. But that's what they think. We got a reputation. Maryland said that most Filipinos, when they meet a foreigner and he comes over here, they know good and well he's seeing several women, which I don't think that's a bad idea initially, because the first one's never going to work out. Ask a lot of these guys, okay? And you say, well, man, worked out. Yeah, well, you're the exception. That just proves the rule to be correct. Most first-time relationships over here, the Filipino and the foreigner, it does not work out, man. You may last 6 months, you may last a year, but it's not going to work. So it's good to have some options, man, because she's doing the same thing, except she does her dirty work on behind the scenes. She's chatting with 3 or 4 or 5 different men. And if she's not, she's stupid. I would, because she don't know what she's getting out of this cesspool of dating prospects that are that's the international man. You don't know what you're getting. So when they do, that's the international man. You don't know what you're getting. So when they do get lucky out of that, because they're getting lucky, we're not. They're getting lucky, we're not. They better hold on to them, because it's some guys, man, that come over here. I'll be like, girl, you got unlucky. The gamma fences, yeah, I would say that's true until you find somebody. Alpina says, so is it a bad rap? Well, it's not a whole lot you can do but be yourself, because they're a good judge of character. They're going to see through that anyway. So if you come over here and you say you're trying to be a saint, they're going to see right through it eventually. But, okay, a good reputation. Well, the next one is stink. They think all foreigners stink. We have a reputation for being stinky, because maybe 1 or 2 or 5 came over here stinking, so they think all foreigners stink. They think we all smoke. Until I started smoking when I was 30 years old. How crazy is that? But the only way to get around that, Alpina, is to take a damn bath. Put some deodorant on, put a few little things of, cologne behind your ear and be done with it. But yeah. Then they say we're lazy, because they say when you come over here, we don't want to do nothing. Oh, it's too hot. Yeah, I ain't going with it. So they just want to stay in the hotel or stay at the resort. They don't want to go anywhere. Certainly don't want to go meet the family and go around and meet the friends and stuff like that, right? They're complaining all the time. Yeah, like I said, it's too hot. It's too humid. I feel sorry for some of the people over here, some of the guys that they've chosen to come over here. They won't sit down. They won't eat. They won't do nothing, because it's not to their standard. See, my next video is going to be talking about the ugly American in the Philippines. But you could replace Philippines with so much, man. I've been researching this, man. It's an ugly American, and then there's the good American. But I'm going to talk about the ugly American, man. He's messing the Philippines up for a lot of us. He's a problem over here. Nobody else is going to talk about that, but I am, because you're not going to have a problem with Filipinos. You're going to have a problem with this ugly American. That's who you're going to have a problem with, if you have a problem over here. Billy says, how did you know you found the right Filipino to settle down with? Oh, hell, you'll know that almost immediately. But it takes time, for you to confirm that. You'll know that almost immediately. But it takes time, for you to confirm that. You'll know. I mean, if you don't have any type of people skills, then you probably will never know then. I mean, you have to know what to look for. Remember, go around her friends and family. They're going to tell you everything you need to know anyway. Ask her about her past. We're afraid to ask questions. They're not. They come from a culture where they will ask you anything. Whose fault was it, the divorce? How much you paying in child support? And who's got the kids? Why? But we don't want to ask them. Let's see, Geechee Line says cesspool. No, not that. Well, I'm just telling you that you're one person, man. If you were in a position where I am, I see thousands of people, man, basically coming over here. Some of these, guys are not who they say they are online when they get over here. And remember, not just talking about Americans. I'm talking about Europeans, Australians, French, Indians, Chinese, Koreans, Japanese. See, Koreans, Japanese. See, we're so arrogant. We think when somebody says foreigner, they only talk about Americans. No, it's all kinds of foreigners over here. It's all kind of different experiences. It's a cesspool. They're not dating a culture. They're dating multiple cultures. They don't know what they're getting. We know because we're dating the Filipina. We're dating her culture, so we can sit back and watch it. We got a general idea of what we're going to run into. They have no idea what they're going to run into. Yeah, they will ask questions that seem too nosy to ask in America, difference in culture. No, but it's to their advantage. They have to do that. And you would be smart to do that. But we won't do it. We're just going to go by what she say. We don't dig deeper. The guy says, how did you know? Well, you got to ask. Yeah, I mean, me and you been with. How many kids you got? Have you ever been married? What happened to your relationship? If you so nice, why aren't you still together with that man? See, we don't want to ask those type of questions because we're afraid we're going to ruin the best thing we ever had. Well, it may not be the best thing you've ever had. I'm just saying. Ask the questions, guys. Don't be afraid to ask the questions, and then you're going to know anyway. But if you don't know, I can't help you. If she's got kids, look at how she treats her children. Look at how she treats herself. Is she taking a damn bath every day, 2 or 3 times a day like they do? Because it's hot over here. It's humid over here. Does she go to the beach? Does she go to the gym? Because I like my women a little vain. So if she's not vain, I don't know if I want her because I want a woman who's up on her appearance. Not too vain, but a little vain. Alpina, I said, yeah, them women dig deep with the questions. Yeah, it's to her advantage. She better dig deep, but we don't do nothing. That's why when you come over here, I've seen it here lately, man. Since I've been in Sikihor, these young women, they've been with 3 or 4 foreigners already, and the guy don't even know it. I know it because they tell Merlin every damn thing. And because I couldn't tell just looking at them, they look so innocent. But the fact is, they've been with a lot of different foreigners, man. But you don't ask them, so you don't know. You think you got a gym? Oh, this is the best thing I ever had. May not be the best thing you've ever had because you're afraid to ask those important questions. And, Frank Ellis says, well, I ask those questions. Well, I hope you do, because if you don't, have you ever been with a woman? Because a lot of the women that we're dealing with over here, they've been in lesbian relationships. I'm talking about the women we deal with, not all Filipinos, guys. They're married already. They've been in lesbian relationships. They got kids. They got children by different men. Because we're still on planet Earth. But at least ask that. That way you can, as an insurance agent, I have to give my clients full disclosure. You know why? Because I can be sued if I'm not. I have to carry errors and omission insurance, liability insurance. I have to give you the full disclosure. And that's what I want. I want the full disclosure. If you're going to ask me all those questions, I'm going to ask you all of them too. The Gamma Effect said the family was asking me about my money straight up. Well, see, you got the wrong family, dude. They're not going to do that. That's a red flag. You with the wrong family, dude. Right there. The fruit don't fall too far from the tree. Okay? If they asking you about your money, dude, man, Filipinos don't do that, man. Okay? What's up, Don? My buddy from home. John says life was short. Gamma Effect says if she's been with a foreigner, then I'm cool on her. Yeah, that's the way I see it. I don't want that. And see, they don't want it either, really. Because when I first made that video where I was talking about, they said, "Oh, you shallow." I said, "No, you don't know the real deal. Filipinos, they really like a man who's never been with a Filipino before, okay? They want to be your first. They want to teach you your first Tagalog, give you your first Tagalog of Visaya lesson, your first lumpia, and all that stuff, okay? But because they don't have a whole lot of choices, really, they'll take a good man who's had a relationship or two over here. Okay, because they don't have the choices we think they have, guys. It's not, men aren't flocking over here like you think they are. But if somebody's asking you about your money, somebody's family's asking you about your money straight up, man, that's the biggest red flag. You're not going to get a bigger red flag because they don't do that. Because they know they don't have to do it. They don't have to ask us for a penny. All the horror stories that I ever told you on my channel, the woman never asked the man for $1. And that's always been the case over here. It's called the unspoken agreement. Dual and May says, "You're so right, brother Cal. Dual and May says, "You're so right, brother Cal. I looked and asked about her family." Yeah, just ask about them. Go around them. See how father acts, how the mother acts. See where she came from. Why would you come all the way over here 8,000 miles and then don't go meet the family? If you're serious about the woman. But you're going to come over here, never meet the family, never do anything. Go and sign the dotted line, start talking about bringing her over. You don't know who you're bringing over there. Could be a mass murderer. Has she ever been on a K-1 visa before? Because a lot of these women have. It's not their first time. Auntie Perk said, "What's good, everybody?" David Evans says, "Where do you get blades for head shaving? They're important." What do you mean, like electric shaver? You talking about like Gillette? They've got something. If you got a bald head like mine, or even for, I'm gonna tell you, go to Watson Pharmacy, and they got a 5-blade. They got a 5-blade razor, man. It's the best I've ever seen. Now you know how black men are, and some Latino men. When we shave, we have an ingrown hair, right? With this 5-blade razor, I don't get the bumps. I don't get the bumps. But I'm telling you because you gotta ask. I'm telling you because you gotta ask for it. It's not gonna be right there where you can see it. They gotta pull out a drawer and give it to you, and it's a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it. Kaz, one of the guys he's got a YouTube channel. He follows my channel. He was so excited about it. He was telling me about it the other day. I said, "Man, I've been up on that." I said, "I've got some at home." But Watson Pharmacy, yeah, ask for it. It's the Watson brand. It's got 5 blades, not 2, not 3, 5. And man, Billy says, is it common that a Filipino doesn't wear a bikini? She doesn't want to. This is an issue for me. Well, you're not going to be able to change people, man. You know, once she starts liking you, maybe she'll say, hey, I'll put on one. But if they're not wearing them, you know, there's nothing really you can do. I mean, would you want a woman to wear a bikini or you want her to be naked? Which one? I mean, you know, I don't see what the big deal is about that. Wearing a bikini or not. What about the woman that readily wear a bikini? So you saying I'm going to marry her? This is the woman I want. This is the woman you need to be watching out for, because mainly if you see a good woman over here, she's going to have that long sleeve shirt on with shorts. There's no bikini. Okay. I love the chance said, I've got those annoying ingrown hairs on my neck. It said African DNA, so I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't get them anymore because a friend of mine, he sent me this Philips electric razor. And this thing, man, is great. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread, as far as I'm concerned. And see, I don't really get, I don't have to get so low. And say, I need to shave now. But my problem was I was trying to get all the way skin, like I do on my head. I don't have to do that on my face. And I don't have to get it all the way to the skin. And that's where my problems were coming from. Get out of here, fly. Simple Fidelis, it sounds like she has self-esteem problems, but no, not really. Remember, we're coming into a culture, man. Women ain't walking around naked over here for real. The Gamma Effect said, you got to pay for her for 10 years. Yeah, if you do the K1 or the marriage visa. Hey, Dimitri, living the dream. So, Cal, keep doing what you're doing and dropping those jewels, encouraging, informing men like myself to step outside the comfort zone. Man, I'm really sorry I didn't get to meet you while I was there. That's okay, brother. As long as you came here, man, you made it back in one piece. That's what it's all about. Andy Perk said, ever try Magic Shake Cal? Yeah, way back in the day. I don't like it. It stinks. It's messy. Leonard Washington said, if she wears a bikini, other men are going to be watching her, so she's drawing attention. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, guys. Don't be so. Now, that's shallow. You saying that's a red flag if she don't want to wear a bikini? Like, wow. I had to make Marilyn change hers the other day because she's wearing one showing all her butt. And I'm like, well, because she works out. She's proud of her body now. But I'm like, well, damn, save something for me. Leave something to be desired. I think it, I don't mind her wearing a bikini. I can't control her. But if I'm going to be around, at least show me some respect. Okay. Now, if I'm nowhere around and you want to show your booty and all that stuff, then go ahead. But if I'm around, then show me some respect. A little respect. Just wear a regular bikini. That's showing enough. Because, okay, we were on the beach the other day when we came back from we did a island tour with the kids. So we stopped at the other Palatine Beach. Not the Palatine Beach. I'm going to make a video today to show y'all how beautiful this public beach is. It's so beautiful. I thought I was going to see Jesus at any moment, man. It's beautiful to be a public beach. But anyway, so this European lady, she has on the real G-string. And she's got like the perfect booty. And I saw the little Filipino man that was with us. He was a young boy. He probably wasn't no more than about 16. I saw his niece. She pointed out the lady. And boy, did he blush. And because they're not used to seeing that. But she had, just a string down her butt. Big round booty chunks showing. Merlin's wasn't quite that bad, but it was close. And I'm like, no, you can't wear that around me. Take that off. Market focus at Calvin had the passport bros come to Philippines yet. I've seen some Filipinos doing videos about them. Yeah, but it's not a bad thing. The last time we were in Cebu for a meet and greet in, I want to say, April, we saw these young brothers, man. But they were respectful. They were clean. They wasn't acting a donkey. They were all together. We went to the Mexican place. It's like 6 or 7 of them. And that's why I was telling Marilyn. I said, if you ever want to know what passport bros are, there they are. It's these young guys, but they were clean cut, talking, respectful. They didn't have any women with them. Matter of fact, they had a Filipino guy with them. But yeah, they're here, man. Hey, Dimitri, living the dream. Thanks for that super sticker. I really appreciate your support, man. But yeah, the passport bro thing is positive as far as I'm concerned. I want it to be something positive. I want it to mean something positive, man, because anything attributed to me, it's always got to be negative, man. You got people acting a fool of all colors, man. This reputation that I'm talking about foreign men have, they paint everybody with that. I don't care who you are. If you're coming from the West and you're a man, a tourist over here, they think you're a man, a tourist over here. They think that about you. That you're not interested in the culture or the language, they say. You're complaining all the damn time. You're wasting all your damn money. You're lazy. You stink. You're a womanizer. They think that all about you. Yeah, Q-Dub said big round booty chunk. Yeah, it was. I mean, she had the perfect booty, man. This was a thick white girl, man. I mean, but they're here, man. I haven't been in the right situation yet where I can just, I'm usually in a tricycle or, you don't want to walk up on a woman like that on the beach. She think you weird, but man, some of the most beautiful white women I've ever seen in my life. Been around white people my whole life, but some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen are here on this island, man. Me and Marilyn, we were coming back from Palatine Beach the other day. And I'll be damn, man. I'm Palatine Beach the other day. And I'll be damn, man. I mean, she's just like dream girls. And I'm like, I know these local guys are just like, what in the world? And I don't know the connection yet. It's going to be interesting when I finally, and I don't know the connection yet. It's going to be interesting when I finally meet one who's, humble enough and probably sees that my intentions are not bad, that will allow me to ask her, like, why are there so many beautiful women? Why do y'all come to many beautiful women? Why do y'all come to Siquijor Island? You don't go to Boracay. You don't go to Bohol. I mean, because they're nice looking women. I'm talking about the women here on a whole other level. I mean, really. I mean, anywhere you go. But when you come here to Siquijor Island, man, it's like the drop dead beautiful. And she had it, and the little boy, the drop dead beautiful. And she had it, and the little boy, the girl saw it. Because, she ain't trying to hide nothing. She walking straight down the beach. Everybody can see it. The girl saw it. Because, she ain't trying to hide nothing. She walking straight down the beach. Everybody can see it. And I'm like, oh, look at that. A good thing I had my sunglasses on. Frank L says, I think the passport bros are starting to die down. It's just a label. Hey, Ed, wow, I said, what's up, Sunshine? I'm on YouTube today, and he says I said, what's up, Sunshine? I'm on YouTube today, and he says my video's lagging. Yeah, those girls are from Europe, but some of them are from America. One woman I thought was from Europe until she started talking. She was at the restaurant. I said, yeah, she's American, but yeah, you're right. Most of them are from Europe, but it don't matter, man. I mean, it's just like it'll make you rethink, like, do I want to go back over there? Because I'm telling you, man, they're just unbelievable. Chocolate Man Mike Philippines Express says they're from Norway, Sweden, Germany, Austria, and Czechoslovakia. Wherever they are from, man, they just, the local women can't do anything. Local women can't do anything with these women, man, because they got everything. It's all in the right position, all in the right where it's supposed to be, and they're just beautiful, man. And you catch yourself staring. I don't like to stare at people, but you'll catch yourself staring, man. You'll be like, God, cow, what in the world? And I put out there in the universe for me to be able to talk to one. I was talking to a young lady from England. She was staying here one time, but she wasn't one of those. But she was a real nice young lady. She eventually was had to cut her vacation short. She was in a bad motorcycle accident. They practically ran on top of her. He said, yeah, those girls are from Europe. The connector said, yeah, Frank Ellis, because a lot of those guys who are in the spotlight lack innovation, creativity, and courage. Yeah, well, says the connector, hey, dude, good to see you here. Yeah, whatever it is, you don't want to be cringy. I want the right situation. Maybe it'll never come around. But I can tell you, if you come to Sicky Island, you're going to see what I'm talking about. I promise you that. And it's going to shock you. But ever since I've been coming here, it's been that way. The very first time I came here, I went to Palatine Beach, and it was these beautiful women. They were just laying there on their backs. All of them had the G-string on. The local guys was just sitting there, just watching them. I mean, they couldn't believe it. Like, wow, really? Is this how y'all dress over there in the West? Yeah, it is. King B. Stacker said, my flight lands in Cebu on the 28th. I'll be boots on the ground. I'm so excited, man. Yeah, I hope things work out for you, man, because I know you've committed already. And sometimes that works out, man, but I wouldn't suggest that, guys. Because sometimes they look a whole lot better on film than they do in person. And when you get over here and you're gonna be like, oh, this is what I got, a 4, and you're gonna see all the 8, 9, and 10s running around. All that bird in the hand beats 2 in the bush stuff not gonna work, guys. You can fool yourself. But I hope it works out for you, brother. Trap 2221 said, Cal, I'm trying to convince my girlfriend to move away from Manila, but she's so attached to her sisters here, and advice was, see, you don't want to do that. You don't want to move her away, man, because now you take all her value away. That's where she's more valuable. She knows everything there. She's going to be a better service to you there and a more help to you there. If you take her to Cebu or somewhere else like that, it's going to be like 2 foreigners being over here in the Philippines together. I mean, just keep with her. Take trips somewhere, man, but if she lives in Manila, let her stay in Manila, wherever she's comfortable, man, because when you take them, it's like taking fish out of water, dude. I'm telling you, man. I take Maryland to Cebu. She's lost. She's lost. But in San Carlos City, she's like the queen of the city. She knows everybody. She knows if she doesn't know the person, she knows somebody that knows the person. She knows where everything is. That's why I built the house there. Elena Watson said it's a natural thing to look at women, but you just don't make it obvious. Yeah, it is. And that's what I say, man. Just don't stare at people, because a lot of guys come over to see me. I have to tell them, say, look, man, don't stare at women, man. Just get you a good apple and keep it going. But I mean, they look them up and down. I mean, it's just lustily looking. And I'm like, man, it's embarrassing to me. So I tell them, and look, don't do that around me. If you're going to do that, you do that somewhere else. I've had several guys come to see me here in CTishay. One guy's back in America now. I'm like, look, guy, don't do that around me, man. Don't do that to people. It's creepy looking, man. And just look at her, get a good apple, and look away. They looking them up and down. I mean, just staring at them, undressing the women. It's embarrassing, man. Trav 221 said, I keep them, man. Yeah, take on trips, places, man, but don't take your woman away from her. It's like unplugging your phone from the power source. After a while, once that battery runs down, dude, you're not gonna be able to use that phone. Same with her. Keep her with her family, man. They're very tight like that here. It reminds me of when I was growing up. When you unplug her from that power source, you asking for trouble. King B. Stacker said, my woman's a 12, so I think I'm good. I'm going to come see you, Calf. I never watched your videos. I never would even thought about the Philippines. You're the reason I'm coming here, man. Thank you, man. You're going to have a great time, man. You know, especially your first time here. You're never going to shine as bright as you will your first time. And I tell everybody that. Bring as much money as you can afford. Stay as long as you can, because it's only one first time in the Philippines. I haven't gotten, I never get tired of this place. It's too much to see, but that first time, man, it's like trying to chase that high. If you've ever been high again, it's never going to be like that first time. The same thing over here. It's just never going to be. The connector says, same though, Cal is one of the few channels I check on. Well, I appreciate that, man. Geechee Lion says, Frank Ellis, I do not think the brothers are dying down, but the perceived controversy, perhaps. Heavy discussion. People are more enlightened at the subject, and the men who choose to travel. Yeah, you know, black men, we're the least to travel international anyway, as far as numbers are concerned. I think it was only a big deal because it was perceived to be a black movement. I mean, it's so few that are involved in that passport bro movement that if it were anybody else, it wouldn't even hit the radar. But I think because it was black men, I perceived to be a black man thing, it garnered more attention. I'm glad to see it, because it was crickets over here for me for many, many years. And then the black men that I did see, it was like they didn't want to be bothered. It's like they want to be the important Negro in the damn crowd or whatever it was. I don't know what it was. But people have that same, I'm not the only one to have that same experience. But now the more brothers come over here, the more likely you're going to get a connection. And that's what's happened to me. And I just think people need to get outside of that diet. Man, we living on a diet on this beautiful earth. I don't care if you live in New York or LA or somewhere, man. It's still a dot compared to the earth and all the that's out here. More than likely, the woman you're looking for, the business opportunity, the new life, it's probably out here somewhere. It's probably not somewhere on that little dot. Otherwise, you'd have it already. Environment, man. Environment. It has a lot to do with our development, our happiness, man. The environment you in may not be conducive to your happiness, your productivity. All you have to do is change environments, man. It's like hitting a switch, man. But don't believe me. I'm just telling you, that's what it is. I've seen guys come over. I've seen the light come on in their eyes. They never go back home. They're like, why didn't I find this place years ago? Because they were afraid. The same thing happened to me when I got over here, man. Something clicked in my mind. I was like, man, this is play. And when I left, I was sad, man. I started crying basically. I didn't, I wasn't boo-hooing, but tears welled up in my eyes. I did not want to leave the very first time I came here. And every time I leave the Philippines, it's like a funeral. It's like I'm going abroad instead of going home. That moment right there will keep you over here. It's one of the reasons why I don't want to leave, because I know after being over here for so long, it's going to crush me, man. Even though I'm going home to see my friends, my family I haven't seen in years, it's going to crush me, man, that airport farewell. Yeah, Ed Wild says, I just want to see other dudes enjoying our country, but remember, be respectful to locals. Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't know something, ask somebody. You want to know something about the Philippines or Filipino people, ask a Filipino. And if you don't know, then just err on the side of caution. People are talking about, I never seen that about the prayer. Yeah, well, in the Visayas region, at 12, 3, and 6, if you're in a store, the grocery store, the mall, that prayer is going to come on and everybody's going to stop. And you need to stop. It's just a couple of minutes. Just stop and show them respect. Lee Smith 05 says, man, I'm coming for sure. Yeah. It'll change your life. If not here, somewhere else. You're going to be better off from coming here anyway, even if you don't stay. I mean, imagine how far this is. You're in a whole other hemisphere. And imagine if you look how many frequent flyer miles. I mean, I reached silver medallion status just like that with Delta from coming back and forth to the Philippines, man. The only time I ever flew first class was coming home from the Philippines on Delta. They bumped me up twice because you're going to get a lot of miles. Not only are you going to get that 8,000 miles, but a lot of times they give you bonuses and stuff. And about 5 or 6 times, man, you way up there. And I'm talking about silver medallion has some, it wasn't, the top of the line, but it was right there because, okay, when I showed them my silver medallion card, they took me to the front. I jumped everybody. It wasn't like being in business class or first class, but it was up there. I'm talking about because when you come home from the Philippines, that line is long checking in. What time, what airline, what time. They would take me to the front of the line. I had all kind of perks, man, and I got them just like that. You get that 8,000 miles. Bray says, I've lived here for more than 12 years now, and the biggest advice I can give you is you're a guest in the Philippines and treat people here with the same respect you would as a guest. And I agree with that. And I said something like that earlier. It's a lot nittier and a lot grittier over here than I couldn't tell you, but it's not, I don't think it's my place to do that. Remember, I am a guest here. And I wouldn't, if I invited somebody to stay at my house and they, cut me up one side and down the other, talked about my place and, my family, I don't think I'd invite them back. And it's just the same way I feel. But you can still give them a real life, encounter over here, what they're going to see when they get here. I'm going to say, yeah, I like Alvin's house, but he kept the air conditioned too cold, or something like that. You can do that. But at the same time, you don't have to kiss nobody's behind either. Because remember, Filipinos are all over the world too, working in OFWs. They live in the biggest majority of Filipinos living outside of the Philippines live in America. So, I think they're going to show you the same respect that people show them and even more. But I mean, I don't think you have to kiss nobody's behind, but you're certainly a guest here. As long as you respect the people and respect the culture, you're going to be fine. I never felt as welcome anywhere as I do here. Fian says, "Hey Cal," and I chat. He says, "Hi Calvin," and I chatted a Filipino for 7 months, and found out she was talking to dozens of foreign men. She was from Liloan, Cebu, and just trying to get out the country. Yeah, you'll run into that. Most women that you're chatting with online, they're going to chat with more than one man. You're going to chat with more than one woman, right? I mean, I would suggest that you do that. I mean, it just increases your odds of meeting the right one. Same with her. It just increases the odds of her meeting the right one. The problem is, and this is something that I've always known, I didn't realize it. I didn't confirm it until I was doing some research, because I was going to do a video on mail order husbands, and how the dating game has been flipped, right? It's like men putting themselves out there to be chosen. But when it comes to be chosen, but when it comes to, what are they doing in there? Did you get the chicken?
Yes, we're done.
It's already done?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Her mother makes the best chicken adobo. But when you're talking about, going online and everything like that, you really have to be careful. I mean, we're chasing the same women. This is what I know for a fact now, because there's more men on these dating sites now than women. A lot more. So if every woman that wanted a man had a man, a lot of men would be left out. Now you got to take into account too, lesbians, scammers, and different things like that. So the numbers drop even more. So we're chasing the same women. So you're going to end. That's why you see a lot of women over here. They're going through a lot of foreigners, man. The ones that are online, I'm saying. You might get over here with a woman, man. Listen, guys, if you come over here and the woman's already been with a foreigner, man, you got to throw her back, man. You deserve better than that, guys. You deserve better than that. But you'll never know if you don't ask her. And you'll know. She'll give herself up. All you got to do is go around the family. They'll tell you. But we're chasing the same women over here. And I see it. I was shocked. Okay, Marilyn showed me a picture. Friend of mine, okay, he was shacking up with the woman. They broke up. Now she's with another man already. And then sent the picture, and I was like, let me have that picture. Marilyn won't give it to me. But she showed it to me. And I'm like, wow, But, and his man, he's sitting there looking all like he got the best thing he ever had. Not realizing, dude, she just moved out of somebody's house. Probably the night she met you, And this is what you don't really want, man. You don't have to do that over here. But when you online, that's what, that's one of the consequences of dating online. You're going to get a woman who's probably just moved out of the house of somebody else. And it's happening more often now. And I see why, because there's more men online now than women. And, we're chasing the same women, man. It's getting ugly, man, because it's going to get to the point where you're going to have to grow some balls and just come over here and start, looking around for yourself, man, because there's some beautiful women over here inside and out. Majority of them are, but they're not on the dating site. They're just not on the dating site. Let's see. Kiss and Tell says, if man, sometimes she doesn't need to ask you for money. You were on the sideline. Her primary food was giving more than she needed. Yeah, and they're not going to ask for money anyway. They know their reputation. around the world. It's not a good one because you can't paint all Filipinos with that same brush. So they're not going to ask you. But they don't have to, guys. They never have to ask us because we're loose with our money over here. We're coming over here, we're tricking, we're fronting like we got more than we really got. Then we get home, start struggling. We're coming over here, man. We're spending a lot of money, man. We're wasting a lot of money. Alpino R says, hey, Cal, if ever you got tired, I got the boot from the Philippines for whatever reason, would you go back to the U.S. or what would be another destination? I was going to make a video about that. Probably Thailand, probably. It's a lot of places, man. America's going to be my last destination. You remember I was talking to Darren the other day. He hasn't been back to America in 23 years. I grew up in America. It's my country. I love it. But I'm 55 years. I gave you 55 years of my blood, sweat, and tears. I want to see what else is out here. But I'm not going to do anything, as much as Americans try to get me kicked out of this place, Americans and Canadians. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not stupid, man. I respect the people in the culture over here. I don't think I'll do anything to ever get kicked out of here. I may leave, but if I did, remember, I've got Booby here. Booby's too. I got to make sure Booby's okay. He says, Bree says, if you want to find a good woman, stay out of the bars and instead visit the hospitals and find you a woman that's working and that has a good job, like a nurse or a doctor. Yeah, but most Filipinos, they're not from outer space. They want a Filipino man, okay? And then, don't think that, they're not as desperate as you think they are. Some of them are, but most of them are not. They want a nice-looking man, too. They want a man that keeps himself together, that works out, and, that's attractive and, is intelligent and all of that, too. A lot of you guys, man, you're finding out too late and to your detriment that that's true. But yeah, a lot of us we're running after the same women, and this is the problem, man. This is the problem. Because I couldn't believe when I saw the picture. I'm like, she's wrapped around him like he's the best thing she's ever had. And then her man, I'm pretty sure she's still in love with the other guy, and he's looking like, yeah, look at me, look what I got, And it's just, see, this is the stuff I see that I'm privy to that y'all don't see, man. That's why I make a lot of the videos that I do. I'm in a position, man, where I see a lot of stuff, man. Just because of me having the channel, people coming around me, telling me their life stories and all that stuff like that. And I only share a little bit of it because those are the ones who say, yeah, man, share it because it might help somebody. The most of them like, man, it's between me and you. Don't share it, and I don't do it. I don't violate that trust. But then when I come out with a story like, black men are being disproportionately taken advantage of overseas, I get pushback. Like, you need to look up the word disproportionate first before you get in my comments with that foolishness, man. I didn't say black men are weak. I didn't say all black men are being taken advantage of. If 1 out of 10 travelers to the Philippines is black men, and 3 out of 10 of the people taken advantage of are black men, then that's a disproportionate amount, a disproportionate number. This is what I'm seeing, guys. I'm just telling you. The horror stories that I'm telling you about, majority of them are black. That Fool's Manifesto, out of those 10 or 11 stories, 8 of them was black men, different black men. So I'm just telling you what I'm saying. I'm trying to help you. I'm saying, hey, look, man, when you come over here, you still got the royal flush. You still got the winning hand. Get out of your head. Get out of your subconscious. Just be yourself. Quit trying to impress people who aren't impressed. It doesn't take a lot to impress subconscious. Just be yourself. Quit trying to impress people who aren't impressed. It doesn't take a lot to impress people over here. They're not impressed with that stuff. They don't get people over here. They're not impressed with that stuff. They don't give a damn what your job is in America. They could care less. That you're the police chief or whatever it is, or some type of, computer analyst. Who gives a damn? They don't care about that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Most Filipino women want a Filipino man. They do. But there are some that will give you a chance. But these dating sites are getting grimier and grimier, slimier and slimier. It's like the Twilight Zone now. I mean, the pickings is slim on these dating sites now. There's no way I would date a woman on these dating sites anymore. You're getting the bottom of the barrel. You really are, man. But y'all not going to listen to me. You're going to keep on going on those dating sites and stuff like that. And you're going to keep getting what that guy getting. He's sitting up there not realizing. You're going to keep on going on those dating sites and stuff like that. And you're going to keep getting what that guy getting. He's sitting up there not realizing some man that, ran all through the woman he's with. She done bent over backwards, gave her whole heart and soul to him. But he thinks he's got the best thing he ever had. You don't want that over here, man. So I'm just trying to help you when I give information like this. My boots on the ground experiences, what I'm seeing, guys, that can help you. Say, hey, man, you may not want to deal with the dating sites. It's a very small percentage of women on there. And it's more men on the dating sites than women now. All the good ones have been taken on them dating sites, guys, okay? So we're chasing the same women. The same women are sitting back with a inbox full of desperate ass men, and they're taking their pick when it should be the other way around. You got everything. You're setting yourself up to be played because you won't listen. You're hard-headed. Oh, I got this. Oh, look at her. She's looking good. Not realizing, man, you don't know this woman. Maybe I know the woman already. Maybe I'm telling you, hey, don't fool with the woman. I got a guy friend of mine, man, real good friend of mine. Woman alone, don't fool with her. I'll be damned if he did. I'll be damned if she didn't give him every damn problem in the book. He's lucky she didn't get him